How on earth will the second and third round of the NFL draft live up to the first round hype we saw last night? We saw, I'd say, one of the craziest first rounds in quite some time regarding players dropping to a certain level. One specific trade up, well, two actually. We saw the Giants hop back into the first to grab Jackson Dart over Shedeur Sanders. We saw the Jacksonville Jaguars go for Travis Hunter. And obviously, the Buffalo Bills, our good friends, the Buffalo Bills, man, they ultimately ended up grabbing Max Hairston, cornerback out of Kentucky. So tonight, as many of us know, we're going to be doing a live play-by-play reaction. I love saying that. For the night two, rounds 2 and rounds 3 of the NFL draft. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. We had over like 500 people in here last night, rocking with me, unpacking everything that the draft had to offer. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing tonight, baby. All right. Sitting here, sweating it out, waiting for the Buffalo Bills to give their damn selection. If you are just hopping in, I ask you that if you are enjoying yourself, if you are being entertained, smash that like button for me. It's the easiest way to show love on this channel. Subscribe as well. We are so close to 41,000 subscribers. I want to say like we're like 50 away, maybe that's the case, or maybe 100. Whatever. I feel like we're going to be hitting some milestones today, baby. Let's go ahead and knock it out. In fact, you know what? Roll call in the chat once again. Where are you tuning in from? I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia truly extends. Roll call. I'm sitting here watching the pre-draft coverage, T-minus 10 minutes. And you already know I have the draft tracker. It's going to be shared on the screen once everything comes in to life. 541 people in here at one point on YouTube last night. Damn, baby. The Bills Mafia goes insane. The Bills Mafia truly goes insane when it comes into their fandom, baby. And I love it. And I'm glad that you're able to spend it with me. We have Arizona in the house, folks. Continue the roll call. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We got Brantley from Ohio. We have Dana from Montana. I love Montana. It is God's country. It is heaven on earth out there. Man, 40,926 subs, 74 away to hit 41,000 on the channel. That would absolutely be insane. We have California. We have Queens, New York. We have Lockport. Talk to me, baby. Guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. We got New Hampshire, baby. Gary, what's up, man? Hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying your evening. Bean, get something who can tackle today. Hashtag Seattle. Something to tackle. Somebody to tackle is what we are looking at. Luce in New York is in the chat. Bills Mafia, Wyoming. Bills VR, Clarence Center, New York. Central New York, talk to me. Wyoming is equally as beautiful. Sweden is in the chat, man. It is a late night for you, but I am so glad that you decided to rock with us today, man. For sure. We have Canton, New York. We have Eric Brown, New York, man. What is going on? Wyoming is in the chat. Jamestown, New York. Sacramento. Sean, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Dan, can you tell my build for a 12-year-old? Can you tell my build for a 12-year-old? Say that again for me, Bradley. Say that again for me. We are back, Dan. Let's have a good day, too. I agree. My friend Forestville, New York, is in the chat. Rochester, Little Buffalo. I've never heard it referred to as that, but I love it. I want Collins. Me too, bro. He's probably like my largest target for defensive tackle. Sort of how I look at this draft process. I've been battling back and forth of what I want Bean to do. And I'm kind of in the camp where I would be okay with staying put once again at 56, not moving up, but in turn selecting Kyle Williams at 56 and then trading down from the second into the early third, where you would assume that Alfred Collins should be there, right? He's projected to go about 74th, 75th overall pick. Again, I think that that's us just being brainwashed by a wide variety of mock draft simulators for the past few months. Turned out a lot of those were way off. But I would not be opposed to grabbing a Kyle Williams / Jalen Royals this evening, and then also Alfred Collins. In fact, dare I say, give me 3 Buffalo Bills picks today. We don't have a third currently. We have 56 and 62. Somehow finesse 3 total picks in this draft, and I'm feeling pretty damn good in this portion of the evening. I swear to you, man, if it's say that it's Jalen Royals and or our good friend Kyle Williams, all right, a namesake that will live in infamy in Buffalo for quite some time, and then an Alfred Collins, I'm feeling really damn good. I'm feeling really damn good if Alfred Collins is the dude. All right, we have Moravia, New York. What is going on, man? We got Maryland in the house, a defensive tackle and edge tonight. Perhaps. Oh, man, so many opportunities. Look, here's the thing, Mark. There has been quite a few murmurs that we're very interested in Landon Jackson. We've had quite a few meetings with him, so perhaps that's something Brandon Beane is eyeing at the 56th mark. It just depends on where he sees the value. I'm 200 pounds and 5'9". At 12 years old, Bradley, chill, bro. Chill. What are they feeding you over there, man? What are your parents feeding you, brother? You built like a damn train, dog. And so you play football, right? And so dude's playing varsity at 12. He's got to be playing. Damn, brother. It's 200, 5'9" is crazy. Crazy, man. Throw some pads on, my friend. Get in the damn game. Trade James Cook. Man, we could see some players be moved today. That's for sure. Keep this receipt. With the second pick of tonight, we will take Kevin Winston Jr. I'm talking to his cousin who is at his draft party. Calvin Tim. Interesting, Calvin. Kevin Winston, safety out of Penn State, would be interesting. I like that. Question, Dan, would a defensive tackle / speed wide receiver upset you in the second? So I'd say quite the opposite, Dwayne. That would actually get me very excited because that's kind of where I'm looking right now, right? Like, for me, so here's the deal about edge rusher, right? Do we need a future edge rusher? For sure, right? Because we have an AJ Epinesa who's on an expiring contract next year. You have Joey Bosa, who is only under a 1-year deal. We just re-signed Gregory Rousseau. I'm fine to take an edge later, 5th round for me. But say, for example, we're going out there and we're like, damn, we really need one more game-changing edge. I'd much rather just wait for next year's draft and we just end up transitioning and looking to draft an edge rusher in the first next year. That's kind of my thought process here. Because I feel like a lot of the good ones are going to be selected in the beginning of the second round. So Mike Green's probably going to be gone within the first 5 picks. I think Landon Jackson's probably going to be the next one off of the board. A couple of other edge rushers, I think, that are probably going to be gone. And I'd say afterwards is what it is, right? But for me, I feel like as far as a priority when it comes into edge rushing, I would rather just take a gamble on somebody because I'm still high on Javon Solomon. He was my draft crush last year. We got him in the 5th. I thought that he actually played well with the limited opportunities he had last year as a starter. I'd rather wait for an edge rusher later and say that we want to transition to focusing on an edge rusher in the first round of the 2026 draft. Sign me up. But I think we're good. It's not a popular take, but it is a take, right? All right, we have Lucas' question. What do you think about Josh Farmer? So I heard you can play either 1 tech and or 3 tech positions. So with Josh Farmer, man, so here's the deal for me, right? I think if Josh Farmer was a double dip candidate at the defensive tackle position, if we ultimately ended up going with Alfred Collins in the 2nd or the 3rd today, and then we somehow got Joshua Farmer in the 4th and or the 5th, I'm a happy guy. But if we're going into the draft as in Farmer is going to be our successor to Daquan Jones when he leaves the team, I'm not pissed, but I'm not wowed, if that makes sense. Lucas, thank you so much, Lucas. I appreciate that with the super sticker, man. That's great, man. Happy Friday evening, everybody. And so I hope you have your snacks. I hope you have your dinners ready to go. Whatever you are drinking, whatever you're sipping on, it's the weekend. Hopefully Brandon Beane goes out there and cooks, because we know that we can criticize Brandon Beane's first round behavior. But one thing we typically cannot argue with Brandon Beane is what this man is able to do in the damn meat and potato rounds. Second, third, and fourth round is typically where you see some of Brandon Beane's and the Buffalo Bills' prized possessions on this team. He has found the likes of a Matt Milano in the middle rounds. He has found the likes of Christian Benford in the middle rounds, Khalil Shakir's. I could go on and on with all of the quality players he has selected once it comes into this evening. So I'm expecting Brandon Beane not to disappoint. 1 minute away. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock. And chat, here's the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have Schultz on my radar. Oh, my God. Chat. You will not believe who the Cleveland Browns just selected. You will not. Oh, my God, bro. Chat, guess who they just took. Guess who they just took. All right, chat. Oh, my God. Dude. So the Browns took a quarterback. And so the Cleveland Browns collect Tyler Shook. Sanders has once again fallen. First selection by the Cleveland Browns is Tyler Shook. Yes. Dude. Holy hell. This is just getting insane. Like, dude, here's my thing, right? Like, I was heavily anticipating that the Browns were not going to select Shador. I thought that they would go for a different position, though, because they have a lot of holes, right? I thought they could have added to their sort of offensive line. I thought that they could have, like, added to their cornerback room. But to draft an actual QB, not Shador Sanders, that is insane. Could you imagine if Jalen Milroe goes as well? Like, what if Milroe goes? My God. I'm like shook right now. Dude, that's insane. And Dion is probably happy because he's not going to the Browns. And Browns fans are going to be absolutely pissed. Somebody just go ahead and just like, here, you know what? Like right now, I have the breaking news tweet, and I'm just going to like read some of the responses here. And so you're trying to give Mel Kiper a stroke? He says, absolutely not. It's unbelievable. Mel crash out. Hilarious. How, bro? Sead pick 83, Shador, maybe. And the dude was legit horrible in college, and this is drafting Felipe Franks in the second round. Please stop. Why? He's not even good. A lot of people are crashing out on X right now. A lot of people are crashing out on X. And Tyler Shug sucks. He started from Oregon, my hometown, and he got beat out by Adams from Eastern Carolina. Dr. Jekyll, that's epic, and the talking heads already have a narrative. Day one. Why is that so surprising that either Sanders sucks or teams know more about him than we do? And there is a very damning thing about Sanders that his team knows. Scott is saying the Broncos have the best defense in the NFL. I would agree with you. Now adding a Jade Barron right next to PS2, and not to mention Hufanga, who you also ended up bringing in, that defensive line. Like, y'all's defense is going to literally be causing fear. So here's the official announcement right here. Go ahead. They said draft 2000. Let's see. Chat, forgive me. Forgive me. Just to show you what I read. And so I misread this. So Sanders could potentially still be on the board, and I take full accountability for this because I owe you better. I saw this image right here from Tyler Shook, and as you can see from Jordan Schultz, when he ultimately ends up posting stuff, like he's like, breaking, this player ends up making it, this player ends up making it. Same exact format, but I saw this, and I assumed that that meant that Cleveland took him. But the actual report here is saying there's a growing belief that Louisville quarterback Tyler Show has a legitimate chance to be the first quarterback selected tonight ahead of Colorado Shedeur Sanders. Sources tell NFL on Fox. Damn. Apologies. That was laziness. I will be better. It will never happen again. It will never happen again. So we still got it. We never got it, baby. We never got it. John Mitchell is saying, what the hell? I know, John. My bad. Go Bills. Aria is coming in. Seems like after sleeping on it, people are warming up to the CB from last night for the Buffalo Bills. So I feel like people like fall in love with a specific prospect and they think that it's boom or bust, and then they continuously forget. So they forget to go on ahead and like put things into consideration, right? Of what sort of metrics is this guy going to bring to the table, or what sort of advanced traits is this guy going to fit into said scheme? But we'll see. I thought you were going and to say Collins because you punched Bob. No, not at all. Yo, Dan, I am a huge fan, but what channel are you watching on the draft right now? Thank you, TJ. I appreciate that. I am a huge fan of you, bro. I'm a huge fan of you. I am on the NFL Network on YouTube TV. That's what I got firing up right in the roster right now. Let's see. Let's see. Judy has come in. How far do we need to trade up to get Collins? It's tough to say because I feel jaded from looking at a lot of like these mock drafts. So I feel very jaded about it. Thought process is that he should be there by the time that it's our turn to pick. I could argue that he could even be available at the beginning of the third round if we elected to trade down from 62. But again, like last night proved, where particular players are falling haven't always necessarily been factual and or predictable. But I'm thinking, Judy, he should be there by the time we get to 56. Clock just started on ESPN. Yeah, we're at 4 minutes and 25 seconds from what I'm seeing right now. About 4 minutes and 25 seconds is where we're at. A Tyler Shuck would be insane. If that happened. Khalil Shakir's in the chat. What's up, Khalil Shakir? Hope all is well, folks. Right now, we currently have 210 of you rocking with me this evening. Smash that like button. Easiest way on the face of the planet to show love, show support. And if you are just coming in, do not be shy. Let us know where you are tuning in from. Roll call in the chat as you enter the building. Man, love to see how far Bill Mafia extends. Dan, what do you think tonight? A defensive tackle or double dip CB, then wide receiver? So I'd say defensive tackle. I would like a wide receiver. So the double dipping, like when it comes into like CB for me right now, I kind of feel like we have a crowded room. And so if you think about it, right? So we just re-signed Tre'Davious White. We did re-sign Dane Jackson, drafted Max Harrison, have Jamarcus Ingram, and we also have Christian Benford as our perimeter corners and Taron Johnson. So that's a pretty loaded cornerback room right now. And while Buffalo has done it before, where they end up signing somebody, but then they still don't get through training camp, it doesn't feel that Dane Jackson and or Trey are going to lose out on a job for yet another rookie. So surprisingly enough, I don't believe we would go for a corner tonight. If anything, day 3, like in the later rounds, but we'll see. Who the hell are the Browns taking? Folks, again, sorry for the fake news earlier. I will be better. I will be better. What do you got? Linebacker they went with. Carson Schwessinger, folks. Carson Schwessinger is now a Cleveland Brown, a linebacker from UCLA that even Bills fans were starting to murmur, like, oh my God, what if Brandon Beane or what if Sean McDermott convinced them to take this linebacker who comes into it? Solid dude, man. An absolute menace, crazy athleticism, loads and loads. Dude gets to the QB. Dude gets to the QB. Now you have a Mason Graham. You have Garrett Wilson. He's pretty good in coverage as well. This Browns team is doing whatever they can to make Joe Flacco in 2025 work for them so that they can, at the very least, be serviceable for the fan bases, for the fan base that is still surprisingly buying tickets and buying merchandise. Blows my mind. Shout out to my buddy Chef Zay. He is our Browns representative on Roundtable Sports. And he was actually at the Cleveland Browns Stadium watching the draft last night. And how many people were there? I was shocked. If the Browns were to do what they did to that fan base so often, I'm not sure I would be able to make that happen. I'm not sure that I would be able to want to spend any funds on an organization like that. But here we are. Browns defense is nice. It's going to have to be nice, man. And don't sleep on the damn Browns either, because although they had a rough season last year, I want to say they pulled off a victory. They pulled off of a win, each and every single team in the AFC North. So they can compete with the AFC North, and they regularly split with just about every single team. Time for pop and onion dip and break out the Tostitos. Let's go, Buffalo. Man, I love it. I seen someone earlier say the Browns were going to draft him. Dan, the fake news media saying QB first. I hate the fake news. I am praying we get Watts. We have Xavier Watts. Who do you think takes Sanders? Dude, right now, here, let me take a look. Maybe the Browns take him at 36, but if not, I think the Saints might. Say that he falls to the Saints, I have a feeling he's going to be a Saint. I suppose don't sleep on Cleveland to potentially take Shador either, right? Because so they could take Shador with this next pick that's coming up because they know for a fact, like when you look at the litany, so the Texans are definitely not. So the Texans are definitely not going to select a quarterback. Neither is the Tennessee Titans. They just got Cam Ward. So they could potentially do that. Jaden Higgins. Jaden Higgins. Jaden Higgins is is a Houston Texan, folks. And so I'll tell you what, it's definitely a different sort of wide receiver than what they're attempting to replace right now, right? Because currently what they have is Nico Collins, right? Like he's wide receiver number 1. Tank Dell's not going to be back all next year. Like that knee injury was gruesome. Then on top of that, you had Stephon Diggs go to the New England Patriots in free agency. So this is definitely a different kind of wide receiver. A different one. But we'll see. He's a baller. Did Seattle just trade up? Yo, Seattle just traded up. Folks, Seattle traded up. Who's Seattle going for? Is Seattle going to Shedeur Sanders? Wouldn't that be insane? Lil Bo, Dan, what do you want for us to get into the second round? Would love Alfred Collins and would love either Kyle Williams or Jalen Royals wide receiver. That would make me a very happy man. A very happy man. Super sticker. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that. We have Higgins and Collins. Huge wide receivers. Yeah, for sure. Like big body dudes right on the outside. Very interested there. Guys, we got 251 of you on YouTube right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you are coming in, do not be shy and introduce yourself in the chat. What about Landon Jackson? For me, sort of how I look at the edge room, I'm not sure whether or not that I would be excited if we ended up taking an edge rusher like this early, because you look at our current room, right? Like we just signed Rousseau again. You still have AJ Epinesa. You have Bosa on a 1-year deal, and I'm still very high on Javon Solomon. I'm fine with taking an edge rusher, but I'd much rather wait till about the 5th round. Say that it doesn't pan out, then we could always shift focus to next year in the 1st round to target an edge rusher exclusively. That's kind of my thought process. I think that I would much rather find a defensive tackle than a wide receiver. Safety, I suppose, like a free safety if necessary. And just make some moves, right? But, hey, listen, I'm not going to be upset if that was it. We have Charger City. Blessings forever. Beautiful God loves y'all too forever. Tell everyone you know and don't know that with the Jesus loves y'all too forever. Teach everyone how to see and enjoy their blessings too forever. I definitely appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate that. And so I am a devout Christian myself. I am a devout Christian myself, man. Take on Higgins. I don't know too much about him, but I haven't heard too much about him. Probably because I am out of the loop. He's good. He's very, very good. Solid route runner, has solid size, great hands. He doesn't get low, right? Like he doesn't, but like that's like often like what you see from like larger wide receivers and stuff like that. Like his change of direction is a bit sort of iffy, I would say. He played very well at the Senior Bowl, right down in Mobile, Alabama. I was actually there to watch practices, and he was lighting up the field. He's going to be good, but he's like a possession wide receiver, is what I'm saying. He's like a possession guy, right? And so not crazy after the catch, but he's got hands. Bill 716 would have rather had Jaden Higgins over Keon and Cooper DeJean or Kool-Aid McKinstry over Max Harrison, and with the Emanwari right over Bishop. Bill 716, he's angry. John Speedle has become a member. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Man. Jack came in, and then also I had one more member that joined at the beginning of this episode, and I appreciate that guy in case that I missed you out. Dan, you should be making some picks. Maya, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I'm not sure that I would trust myself to make some picks. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I would trust myself. Max Harrison might be the dude here. Dan, and so am I tripping, or did you get a haircut from earlier stream? Looks fresh. I did get a haircut, my friend. It's kind of messed up, though, because I did start wearing a hat, but yeah. And so I did get a fresh fade. Shout out Kyle, my barber. Like, dude can slice up a nice little dude can slice up a nice cut. He chops tops over there, you know what I mean? Oh, no, folks. Solid pick, though. Nick We have Emanwari as the Seattle Seahawk, ladies and gentlemen. We have, that is crazy. We have an Emanwari is a Seattle Seahawk. Breaking news. Great player, man. Great player. Great player. We have Vade coming in. Dan, and who do you like more, Kyle Williams or Royals? It's close. It's very, very close. Would say that I had to choose, I'd probably go Kyle Williams, to be honest with you. But say that we got Jalen Royals, I would still be uber excited, right? But slight preference for Kyle, but I would not be disappointed if, for example, we decided to go with Jalen Royals instead. But that's my slight preference, man. Like, what I like about Kyle Williams is that he has the 4.4 speed. So he's fast. He's a route technician. He's great after the catch. Solid hands. He really reminds me of what Stephon Diggs was during his prime, right? Like similar size. That, and he's a true X receiver. And so is Jalen Royals. We got Richard Sherman out there announcing picks now, folks. Emanwari, dude. Height, weight, speed. He's a playmaker. And they are comparing him to a Kyle Duggar, who many of us can probably remember that I was a big Duggar guy. I wanted him to be a Buffalo Bill when he was coming through the draft. Bill 716. And do we play the Seahawks this season? I don't believe we played the NFC West. Hold up. Hold up, chat. And so I know we play the... No, we don't, because we play the NFC East. Yeah, we play the... No, never mind. We have the NFC South. So we have the NFC South, and we also have the AFC North as well. And then obviously with the division, and of course we always have to play the Chiefs, and we play the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be a tough stretch for sure. We have double dip with Trey Amos. We have Knight would be cool. Not a huge need, but I would like the value. Interesting. We got Courtney coming in. We saw that Emanwari went to the Seahawks. They did, man. Listen, Mike McDonald is a defensive-minded head coach. I figured it was only a matter of time before, like, dude went out there and tried to build the defense that he thinks will work within his system. So we can get that. Oh, my God, folks. So the Cleveland Browns have made their selection. The Cleveland Browns have made their selection. And they selected Quinshawn Judkins from Ohio State. They did not select Shedeur Sanders. Nope. Quinshawn Judkins. Dude, where is Shedeur going? All right. Shedeur, say that Shedeur does not go to Las Vegas, which I even think is a long shot because they just signed Geno Smith to like a 3-year deal, right? He's on roster for 3 years. I think Shedeur is going to go to New Orleans. I feel like he'll go New Orleans here. Quinshawn Judkins. He's a stud, man. He is indeed a stud. Bears daddy's going to the Bears? Oh, man. And so I don't know if they're going to be giving up on Caleb Williams that early. Maybe. And Shedeur is going in the 6th now. John is saying in the 6th round. Holy shit. No one wants Sanders. You know why? Because he sucks and he's a bum and he's not going until day 3. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We have Braden S. And do you think it's possible that Sam Darnold was a good fit for the Vikings, but won't be that great with the Hawks? Sometimes I do think that a certain system really brings the most out in particular players, especially in the quarterback room. Like with Kevin O'Connell, man, he's such a whisperer. Like, he makes a lot of QBs a hell of a lot better. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if Sam Darnold can show a little bit of what he's done. Dan, I once made a mock draft where we got Carter, Hunter, Barron, and Grant. Oh, God. God, TJ. What are you watching that you're getting picked so far ahead? So I got inside sources at the draft. Nah, I'm just kidding. So I followed Jordan Schultz on X, and he ends up announcing it right before it's announced on TV. So, like, he's getting the word, and he breaks it on X before it's announced on television. So I have that pulled up as well. I have a feeling that if you don't get picked when it's our turn, we are going to pick Sanders. Yeah, Brantley Pruitt's coming in. Nah, I don't think that's going to be the case, man. We just ended up extending Josh Allen to some mega millions right over there. I feel like it would probably be redundant. So I'll tell you what. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to say that I think that Sanders is a New Orleans Saint. Because right now there's a lot of question marks of whether or not Derek Carr is going to have surgery. And I can promise you that they don't want to go into this season thinking that Spencer Rattler is going to be their answer at the position. That right there, I'm kind of uncomfortable with, right? Or that they should be uncomfortable with if Spencer Rattler is their backup plan, right? What does he just hide behind the stage and stare at the cards before they're read? It's maybe, who knows? And so is it possible to sign Sanders to a minor league team? Oh my God. And so I'm surprised that Henderson wasn't the third running back drafted. Some people really like Judkins. I'm not sure Carr is the future. He's getting up there in age. Yeah. And so to be honest with you, I think that say that his contract wasn't so bogus, I think they probably would have walked away from him. Like, they ultimately had no choice but to restructure him and guarantee is like $40+ million because like their cap situation has been disgusting. Absolutely disgusting for them for quite some time. So he's definitely not their future. And next year, I think they will have an opportunity to fall. Oh, shit. So the Dolphins traded up. And so the Dolphins trade up, chat? All right. So the Miami Dolphins, who they going with? All right, man. Let's see who the Dolphins are taking real fast. That would be funny. Say that Miami drafted Shedeur Sanders. Holy hell. Could you imagine? You would assume. So you would assume that it's going to be an offensive lineman, right? It's that or Will Johnson. Yeah, let's see. Who is it? All right. Hey. Good for the Dolphins for recognizing their weakness at the offensive line position. So Miami's making moves to 5 and 12. Yeah. Oh my God. And so Miami's making moves to 5 and 12, Carly. Let's go Tampa all defense now. Oh, we got Josh up in the chat. What's up, man? Josh, hope all is well, bro. We have some Buccaneers fans up in here chilling with us. We got the Patriots, man. Who we doing right now? So, all right. So this guy played both guard and tackle, so he's versatile. It's probably a good pick for them. What did they trade to get up to him so urgently? LOL. That is a great question. They did put it on the screen. I think like a fifth or something like that, or a fourth. Miami is drafting low players way too high. Z type. And I will give them 6 and 11. Ryan Reed. And so the way this draft has gone, nothing is going to surprise me. Right? I know it's been completely right out of the loop. Tons of O-linemen are getting drafted while the Bills O-line is completely set. You love to see it. It's cool. So I do think that like we need to, so not necessarily need, but I will say that I would be okay with us getting a guard in like the 6th round because David Edwards is a pending free agent next year. So I'm not sure if we're going to have enough money to bring him back or whether or not that Buffalo wants him back. So I'd be okay with getting like one more interior defender, specifically with experience on the left side. But say that we don't, it's not the end of the world. So, but that's just extra credit for me. You know what I mean? And so Miami jumped up 10 picks to get him. Oh, man. We have 2 firsts now, Miami. Hey, Dan, where do you get your helmets? Edgar, great question, man. I got them on Pristine Auction. It was a sponsor of mine earlier this season, but it's super cool. Like you can actually go on ahead and get like helmets that are unsigned or signed by players. Like, so I have a signed Thurman Thomas red helmet, and then that blue helmet is just an authentic one that I could wear, but unfortunately my dome is way too big, dude. And so I got a large, and so I thought that that would be enough to fit on my dome, but nah, it's not, dude. Like my head's like way too big. So it can't even fit on my skull. And I'm very upset about it because I wanted to wear it during streams, especially during my live play-by-play reactions. But yeah, man, most definitely. I would check out Pristine Auction. You can get all of them over there. It's a super cool site. And that's a free ad read for you, Pristine. Re-sign me this year, baby. We got DF. So Miami is getting Grant. So Miami getting Grant. Pissed off Bills fans now jumping ahead of New England. Greer really wants to tick off the AFC East teams. Is this more motivation for the AFC East teams? I mean, it's punching up. You know what I mean? Buffalo are going to introduce a new uniform for this season. Was that just announced? Because I missed that. Dan, how would you feel about getting Omar? Would be fine. Him or Alfred Collins, I'd be completely fine with. I see Sanders being undrafted. Wow. Interesting. And does Pristine Auction go all the way to the UK? I believe so. Don't mark my words, but I believe so. And so I think you'd probably have to pay a mint as far as shipping. But yeah, I believe so. Pats, who are they going with? So Luther Burden could probably be a good pick for the Pats here. Say that they were smart. All right. Oh, dude, look at that, man. We got Brandon coming in the chat on X. What's up, man? How you doing? He goes, who is your favorite defensive end left? Lefts. I'd say Mike Green. And so I like Landon Jackson too. So, but earlier when I said, so I feel comfortable with how our defensive end room looks right now. So I'd be fine to wait for the defensive end right in later rounds and say that that doesn't work out. Then we can just like refocus on defensive end in next year's drafts, like make that our first round selection. Like me, like I really want us to walk away. So with an Alfred Collins or an Omar Norman lot, like say, for example, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But say that it was an edge rusher, then I'd want it to be like Mike Green or a Landon Jackson would be interesting as well. Yep. So the Bills are about to debut a new uniform combo in 2025 as part of the NFL x Nike Rivalries program. Was just announced in the Bills app, and they didn't tell us what it was supposed to be. Hold on. I got to check something out. Red helmets, right? Oh, yeah. No, that's true. So Buffalo Bills to debut new uniform combo in 2025 as part of the NFL Nike Rivalries program. What are they going with, though? A running back. Trevion Henderson. Damn. That's wild. So I'm hoping red helmets as well. It's not new uniform, it's a new combo. Okay. Combo. Sanders can't stay in the pocket like he did in college. He's going undrafted. I'm not that surprised. We have New England is silently coming up. So they're going to be a second place team this year. And there's tons of running backs getting drafted while the Bills running back room is completely set. You love to see it. Dude, I love the positivity in here. I love the positivity. I am excited. I can't wait to see it. We have TJ. If Omar, Norman, Lott, and Collins aren't available for us, who would you say we pick? So I'd probably want Jalen Royals or Kyle Williams or like maybe a Winston, so the safety, or maybe an Xavier Watts from Notre Dame would be something I'd be okay with too. That's kind of where I'm at. I heard red helmets. Yeah, wouldn't that be ideal? And so I want black uniforms. Ooh. We have Xavier Watts safety, have Alfred Collins defensive tackle, Josh Farmer defensive tackle, Jordan Phillips. I like him out of Maryland. Mike Green a defensive end. Have Marshall Donovan as a Ruku. I thought that he got selected, didn't he? Femi Oladejo would be solid as well. Yeah, for some reason I thought with Ezeruku got selected. Maybe I'm crazy. See you in February again. Banana Clip has come in. Yo, dude, Bills black unis would be sick. Green or Amos. So we're set at cornerback right now. So there wouldn't and so I probably wouldn't want to double dip at the cornerback position, especially this early. I can't wait to see Maxwell Harrison and Keon Coleman together. I think they will get along. And so Mahomes will play with the every season remaining of his career in Super Bowls. Wow. Dan. And so imagine if we get black uniforms. That would be sick. Is DeMar Hamlin good? He's not awful. He's not good, but he's not as bad as people want to say that he is. All white jerseys with red trim white numbers. All white jerseys with red trim white numbers, no blue or helmet. No blue on helmet or jersey. So a whiteout jersey would be sick too. If everyone thinks safety is such a big need, then why didn't Bean think so when he could have taken Emanwari? A free safety would be ideal. But Hairston is super fast, and he provides sort of an insurance policy for the safeties that in turn struggle in coverage. So half of the reason why safety is a need for this team is that we only have one safety that is on the roster in 2026. Just one. And that's Cole Bishop. So safety does need to be addressed because we have 3 of the 4 safeties have expiring contracts next season. So I think what Buffalo is going to want to do is they're going to want to find somebody that excels in coverage. And maybe we just thought that corner was a bit more of a priority for us, right? Hence why I'm like a Billy Bowman guy, right? Like a huge Billy Bowman guy, perhaps. It just depends on where he falls. Let me see. I think we may choose wide receiver this round. We have 2 picks. The AFC East is gearing up to run more. Hope Bean and McDermott noticing for their next pick or so. I think if he drops far enough, it might take Shiloh Sanders. Oh my God. Oh my God. Maya's come in and said that Derek Forrest looks good though. He's got upside. What could he potentially do? Probably to stop the run or the short pass. Chuck is coming in saying, I think the last game played in the Ralph this year, we should wear the red helmet with the blue uni and finally close that chapter and move toward the future. Wouldn't that be something? The Burrs, man. Who did the Burrs select? Let's see. Who did the Burrs select, baby? So is there any chance that Burden falls? Yeah, he's going to fall, but he's not going to fall to us. And say that he does, then I wouldn't want him, right? So he's a slot guy. He's not really an X guy. So he played on the outside in college, but his numbers were not good, and Missouri moved him over to the slot, and that's when he excelled. So I wouldn't want to draft a wide receiver saying, hey, you are now going to be an X wide receiver for us. That wouldn't be my thing, right? That wouldn't be my thing. 359 of you in here. Luther Burden III is a Chicago Bear, folks. Luther Burden III is a the Bears might be good. I feel like the Bears might be good this year. Good timing. And someone said, and so they won't run when they're down by 3 touchdowns. We have Kevin Walensky. Bills will wear the red helmet on the home Christmas Day game. Wouldn't that be ideal? Bears wide receiver core is already insane. When are we up? It's going to be a minute, brother. It's going to be a minute. We're 56. We're pick 56. Not unless we decide to trade up or anything like that. And I'm sitting here and I'm refreshing my Twitter feed to see if I get any news earlier. Let's do it. All right, the Saints. You know who I think it is? Shedeur Sanders. Bro, what are the Bears doing? I feel like they're getting better. And so do you think Josh Allen will retire as a Bill and never join another team? I hope not. I hope not, man. So hopefully he doesn't pull like a Matthew Stafford or something, you know what I mean? They definitely are stacking up on the offense. So they improved their offensive line right in free agency, like have veterans right in the interior to protect Caleb. Like now you have a really solid pass catching like tight end in Colson Loveland. They have Cole Kmet, who's not really known as that guy that's going to be like a true pass catching tight end. I think Ben Johnson is probably going to run a hell of a lot more 12-man personnel. Then you have DJ Moore. Then you have Roma Dunze on the outside. Now you have Luther Burden out of the slot. I think the Bears might be good. I think the Bears might be good. We said Josh said he didn't want to play for another team. I think it was an interview from a month and a half ago on his new contract. I think Dallas Cowboys will pick Savion Williams or the 49ers will. Who the Bills going to take, you think? So it's not even so much of like what I think. It's more so of what I hope. So I hope it's Alfred Collins, the defensive tackle out of Texas. If not, then I would probably hope for a Kyle Williams or I would hope for a Jalen Royals. I'd be okay with a Kevin Winston out of Penn State. We have that. Someone said Trey Harris. So with Trey Harris, man, he's Keon Coleman. Yeah, he's the exact same wide receiver as Keon Coleman, right? He runs like a 4.6 40. He's tall. He's more of a possession guy. His separation isn't that good. I feel like so it would just be so I feel like he would just be a carbon copy of Keon Coleman. And like what we need is somebody with a different skill set. And not with what Keon Coleman provides is a bad thing. It's great. But we need a different kind of wide receiver. We need somebody that can separate vertically and stretch the field. And with Trey Harris would just be Keon Coleman all over again. What are your odds that Bean trades a 4th, 5th, and 6th for a 3rd? I could potentially see it. Ooh, Collins would be nice. Yeah. He'd probably be my go-to here. And the pick is in for the New Orleans Saints, folks. What's up, Green Bay? Who is it? Tyler Shook. Who the hell is taking Shedeur Sanders? Yo, watch Indy take him. Bro. Chris has come in. Hey, Dan, does Darius Alexander do anything for you? So I feel like he's more of like a 3 technique type guy. He's great at he's great at rushing the into the passer, right? So, but for me, like really like what I want is just somebody that can line up directly in front of the damn center, like take double teams and fill gaps and be somebody that's pretty quality, right, in stopping the run. I suppose I would be okay, but I'd probably prefer an Alfred Collins who's like truly like that guy. But so I'd be okay with the Darius Alexander. Yeah. I say the Jets will take him. Sanders' ego and attitude must have made a bad impression. Holy moly. And so do the Jets need a quarterback yet? I mean, Dan, and do you think we get a wide receiver or a linebacker tonight? So I think we get a linebacker and a defensive tackle. Maybe an edge rusher. Although that I'm not particularly a proponent of that. I gotta stand up. Ugh. Sitting down too long, folks. Tyler Shuck goes over Shedeur Sanders. That's insane. We have Gerald. What about the Kentucky defensive tackle Deion Walker? So I like him too. He's a big body. He would be a scheme fit for us. But I think that he needs a bit more development and probably wouldn't be able to be set free until next year. But we still have Daquan Jones for one more. So I suppose I could be like talked into it. And from what I understand, he was playing through an injury last year. And like he fits the mold of what we're looking for. So I don't know, man. Hopefully. We have Gabriel's coming in. Bills traded up. Did we? Guys, no fake news in the chat. Oh, shit. Hold on. Come on, baby. What do we got? It might be Mike Green. Hold on. We're trading up. What was the compensation, though? Come on, baby. Brandon Bean making moves. What was the compensation, chat? Folks, it's in. The bill. All right. So we walked away with our second. Oh, we got a third full. Yo, we got a third. So we gave them both of our seconds and a third. All right, folks. So we have a 3rd round pick this evening and a 7th. So we walked away. All right. So we ended up getting into the 3rd. What are we doing right now? The Bills will take Sanders home. Hold up. Who is it? It's Mike Green, isn't it? Hold on. Who is it? Chat, who is it? Collins? Kyle Williams, baby. Give me Kyle Williams. Give me Kyle Williams. Feed it to me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Holy shit, it's in. It's in. Who is it? Who is it? We got Lee Evans up there. TJ Sanders, South Carolina. So I got to be honest with you guys. So I have to be honest with you guys. This is a complete surprise of where I am, because technically when you look at it, he has the versatility. He has played every which responsibility on the defensive line his entire career, right? From 0 tech all the way to 5 tech. And the NFL draft buzz has him lifted as a 3 tech as of right now. This is what you can get. This is what you can expect from this player. High level competitive toughness, showed up repeatedly against top SEC competition, notably in a dominant performance versus Georgia. Natural short area quickness and lateral agility make him a weapon on twist games and stuns, showing ability to redirect and accelerate through the interior gaps. Explosive first step off of the snap allows him to consistently win the race to the gap. So I think we see this as a 3 tech. I'm not really seeing a big body type guy, like somebody that's going to be sitting behind Daquan Jones, but rather a guy that could potentially be an insurance policy if we want to move away from Ed Oliver. I think this also tells us that we're not done with defensive tackle. I think that we're also going to be looking for a big body later in the draft as well. So look for Deion Walker potentially to be a guy that falls to us. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look. And so your boy needs to go on ahead, and I need to make a TikTok on this. You got TJ Sanders. TJ Sanders, man, he is now a Buffalo Bill, a 3 tech defensive tackle. At least like that's a specialty. It's It's a bit of a shock to me, man. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of a shock. Violent hand, like pack serious pop, natural leverage, flexibility, hips enabled. Like, pass rushes. All right. TikTok time, folks. Wow. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, maybe they know something. Maybe they know something about this. Maybe they know something that I don't know. But for us to walk away from our second round pick for a guy that's a 3-tech, that's a pass rushing defensive tackle, that isn't particularly the size that I'm looking for at 6'4", 297. I wanted 320 at least. I don't know. It's just a head scratcher for me right now, boys. Sound off. So especially a trade up for me. That's a little weird. That's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Hold up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills just selected TJ Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. We traded up, walked away from our second round pick. We acquired a 3rd round pick here, folks. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to unpack this again. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. The Buffalo Bills select TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. And I got to admit, I am a bit confused about this pick. Now, we ultimately ended up trading up with the Chicago Bears, right? We walked away. Hold up. Now, we ultimately ended up trading up with the Chicago Bears. We walked away from both of our 2nd round picks, and then we acquired a 3rd, which I suppose is nice. But all offseason, I think we were looking for a successor to Daquan Jones, a 1-tech defensive tackle, a run stopper, somebody that could really draw double teams and allow the rest of the defensive line to eat. While he has experience literally playing every single which responsibility from 0-tech all the way to 5-tech, this is a pass rushing defensive tackle. So what does this tell me? Does this mean that the Bills are just wanting to wait for like a Deion Walker later in the draft by itself? It just seems redundant as far as the skill set that is already present in the Buffalo Bills defensive tackle room right in the first place. Now, what's unfortunate is that we no longer have another 2nd round pick. I was really hoping that we could potentially find a Jalen Royals or find a Kyle Williams, perhaps. But now I'm still kind of in desperation mode to get a 1-tech defensive tackle. Who in the hell is going to help stop the run, especially through the defensive line? I hope I'm proven wrong here, but not particularly a fan. Perfect. That's it. That is it. All right, we got Tyler's come in. We have Tyler's coming and says, I really like TJ Sanders, but I'm not sure that I would have given up that much for him, especially with the depth of this class. That's what I'm saying. Bills draft TJ Sanders. Chat, sound off and let me know if I'm crazy here, right? I'm fine with the trade up, but why are we trading up for somebody that's not even particularly a scheme fit for us? Right? Sure, he has versatility. He can play 1-tech. He has done it, but he's not a true 1-tech. Dude's a pass rushing defensive tackle. Maybe they're trying to mimic what they ended up getting from the Philadelphia Eagles right in the Super Bowl, but not everybody can mimic that exactly. That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I'm not happy with that one. I'm not particularly happy with that one. Why would they trade up for this? I don't know, boys. We have Bills, we have NFL, we have NFL news, NFL draft. That one was weird, man. That one was weird. Sound off. A 291-pounder is not the answer. Yeah, dude, that's just crazy. That's crazy to me, man. You have Sergeant Slaughter. And so the run defense doesn't kill us in the playoffs, and lack of pressure and lack of coverage is bitten us in the ass with each and every single time. We got 2 great picks to get us over the hump. Smile, Dan. Love Maxwell Harrison. Yeah, dude, you're right, man. Listen, I will trust for sure, but like, I just want to know who is the running mate here. You know what I mean? So pass rush is great, but I don't know. So maybe I'll sleep on it and I'll be okay. Yeah, maybe I'll sleep on it and I'll be okay. But for now, I probably would have went a different direction. So I'm sure he's a great player. Listen, it's not the player that I have beef with right now. It's not the player that I have beef with. It's the perceived scheme fit is what I have beef with. But hey, who knows? So somebody suggesting Desmond Watson. I'm probably going to say no about Desmond Watson, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, dude. Like with Desmond Watson, man, like he's like 450 pounds. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is it how long you sleeping for? Oh, man. And so are we running an all 3-tech defensive line now? I mean, it seems to be, right? Like that, like his strength is exactly what Dwayne Carter and Ed Oliver do. So are they planning on trying to transition him over to 1-tech? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I probably would have went with Kyle Williams there. I'm not, yeah, I'm not happy about that one. But hey, you know what? Maybe I'll sleep on it. Chat. Someone convinced me that was a good pick because I'm having a hard time accepting it. Please talk to me. Dan, what did the Bills do? So we ended up drafting TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. He's a pass rushing QB, right? He had 5 sacks last year, 9 hits, 19 hurries. His run defense chops aren't as nice as you would like them to be. Like, here are his weaknesses, right? He's 6'4", 297 pounds. He's from down the street, right from where I grew up. But here is his weaknesses, right? He tends to play with inconsistent pad level, and particularly against double teams where he can get too high and lose his anchor at this point of attack. Lacks ideal mass and pure power to consistently hold his ground against vertical drive blocks. Can get displaced when offensive linemen get into his frame. His conditioning needs refinement as impact noticeably wanes late in games, particularly evident during extended drives in the fourth quarter. Run fits can be inconsistent when forced to process multiple blockers and occasionally losing gap integrity when working through traffic. Will occasionally stop his feet on initial contact, limiting his ability to convert speed to power and sustain his bull rush through contact. So, yeah. So Bean's middle name is CTE now. #2bust. Jack, I promise you that Max Harrison is better than Trey Amos. Because otherwise, Trey Amos probably would have been selected, right? So with Amos, probably would have been selected at this point. My man, I appreciate this. It's probably not Donald Strong. If that were the case, it would be different. So we get another Ed Oliver. Yeah, dude. That's basically what it is. Seems like Oliver. So he can play nose. Is nose one tech or three? That's one. And there's still the Texas one tech guy. There is, but so we don't have a pick until I believe the beginning of the third round is where we're at. I'm bummed that's it for the night. And so I wanted 2 picks. It's not it for the night because the third round is also a part of this stream. So we are selecting again this evening, but now not until the third round. We did trade up. So that's it. Sanders is a Carolina man. Should have seen it coming. Shedeur Sanders. All right. So the Jets ended up taking Mason Taylor. Yeah, let me go ahead and double check some things. And then Alfred Collins goes afterwards. Wow. Folks. Dan, help me understand the trade, please. And so I love that we got the third, but 2 seconds for TJ Sanders. Why another 3 tech? So I'll tell you what, XO, I'm having a very difficult time. Dan, KO Bob, please. I will. He's played all over the line before, but based off of the weaknesses that we just ended up having, he struggles against double teams, right? That's what a one tech is supposed to do. His stopping of the run is not necessarily, I'd say, the best. I feel like Alfred Collins would have been a better fit, but yeah, I'm shocked, bro. So it was a dumbass trade. Yeah, dude. Like, holy shit. Like, go Alfred Collins if that's like the fact. Like, get what we actually need. So now you're third 3 tech on the damn roster, bro. We have 3 techs on the roster. And 1 tech who has an expiring contract next year. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, grab like Jordan Phillips, like right off of the couch again by midway through the season if Daquan goes on an injury? Like, what's the plan here? Yeah, like, what's the plan here, man? Listen, like, he better wow me. He better wow me with his 3rd selection. We have Gabriel. Bean doesn't do well in the 1st and 2, Dan. This is normal. So his 1st round pick, I was thrilled. So I love Hairston. 2nd, weird. So I wonder if they're trying to beef up Dwayne Carter. Yeah, but like, why would we trade up into the 2nd round for it? You know what I mean? Like, say that it's something like that. Like that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. We have Bill 716. So are they thinking of moving on from Oliver next offseason and TJ Sanders is his replacement? Even if that was the case, why would you trade up into the 2nd round for that? Right? Like, roll the dice on somebody later. Right? Yeah, dude. Like that's a head scratcher to me. Wait, we gave up both second round picks to move up. So we did a trade swap with them, and we gave them the second round, but we acquired a third toward the beginning of the third round. So that's I don't know, that's weird. That was so stupid, bro. And so I have a feeling either Williams or Royals will be chosen before we pick. What are your thoughts? I don't know. Get the F out of here. Who is going to stop big running backs? I don't know. We have Deion Walker is that guy. Dude, listen. So now I'm a big Walker guy. Double dip at defensive tackle. Double dip at defensive tackle, and I'm okay. And so I think our draft is absolutely done. No. I love the Hairston pick. So Hairston pick is fine, but Sanders is not ideal. You'd think that they were getting the Browns pick by giving up both picks. Mike check. Teams will still be able to run up the middle. Dan. So we did have 9.5 sacks right over the last 2 years. Yeah, it's solid, but like, I don't know. So who's going to fill the gaps? You know what I'm saying? And so a CJ West is great too. Like, that's fine. You have Carl Knight. Is TJ Sanders a good run stopper? He's not as good as what an Alfred Collins would have been, but let me see. Let's pull up some advanced statistics. Average. He's average. So it just depends on where they plan on taking him, I suppose. And so we take Dante Thornton in the third. F it. My God. Interesting. Would you rather have had Alexander than TJ? I definitely would have. No. But so to be honest with you, say that we were going to move up that high, might as well damn get a and so an Ezeruku. So should have got Ezeruku instead, right? Like, move up. Like, hey, is what it is. We have a third round pick. I feel like I'll be okay. Folks. I feel like everything will be all right. We have a big run on defensive line is going right now, folks. We have the LA Rams pick is in. Let's see what they're doing. We have Thomas Mullins. So remember, he did it right in the SEC, Dan. He is good. We have Z-type. We have 3 fifth-rounders, could still trade up. We could potentially. I'm so confused. This is bad. So you coach him up. Mark, what did I miss? What did the Bills do? So we ended up adding the third 3-tech defensive tackle we have on this roster. And, yeah, it's not the player I hate, folks. It's not the player I hate. But you can't run 2 3-techs. Like, you need a 1-tech on the line, right? Like, you could theoretically, but I don't know. We have TJ. Who do you think is going to be more successful this year? The Patriots, Dolphins. Remember, he is in the SEC. He is good. We have 3 to 5th rounders we could potentially right with the Jets. Guys, listen, like, so make no mistake, right? Like, I'm not mad at the player. Like, he can play. But I'm mad at the scheme fit. Like, that's what kind of pisses me off a little bit. Especially, like, walking away. I don't know. Is what it is. Is what it is. And so do you think there's any possibility we trade back up into the second round? I don't believe so. We probably wanted that third unless somebody's really starting to fall. PD said, in terms of pick value, so the Bills got 721 points. Bears got 700. We got Terror 1331. Sanders says he split 3 tech and 1 tech pretty even last season. Played right about 300 pounds last season. Feels comfortable in the 300, 310 range as he doesn't lose any explosiveness there. That's what he says, though. That's what he says. So the SF runs too fast defensive tackles on passing downs all the damn time. But like more so, I'm talking about consistency, right? So consistently. So we'll never know until they hit the field, y'all. They ain't trade up for no reason. Chris, I like all three of the guys picked after Sanders better. He played both. Yeah, but we are changing our new defensive scheme. Wings, it's a head-scratching pick. Double dip on defensive tackle Deion Walker. No, we got 719 points. Soul Train. So is a part of you upset because it's similar to getting Kai or Elam, which wasn't a scheme fit? Maybe I'm feeling a bit jaded there. Like maybe that's why I'm feeling a bit jaded about the situation, but yeah, I'll get over it. I'll get over it, folks. I promise. I will get over it. Shahor is going undrafted. Oh my God. So the versatility on the defensive line gets underrated. And so I like the Sanders pick, Dan. Ryan, I really hope that I could join you here soon. You know what, man? Like, I feel like, say that I sleep on it, I feel like I'll be okay. I feel like I've been married, like, right to the concept, right? But then again, like, here's the deal. So one thing that, like, sort of upsets me is, like, when people are just like, oh my God, like, look at what the Philadelphia Eagles have done, right? Like, with that interior pressure. That's how they set up their defense. That sort of reminds me of a lot of teams attempting to take the exact same model of the Patriots dynasty, like running very similar concepts to them, but it never worked for anybody else, right? Because it was the Patriots coaching their personnel combination in what made it great. So just because something works great for another team, it's not as black and white that we would be able to mimic the exact same thing, right? It's different strokes for different folks. Me, I kind of wanted to stick to identity because last year I feel like our defensive struggles, I think that we can all agree, right? Like biggest issue I think we had last year was pressure. And that's cool that TJ Sanders can bring that to the board, but then also defending the run right up the middle. Maybe Daquan Jones can come back and make something happen. According to my friend Kevin, he says that Dwayne Carter is going to be throwing on some weight and transitioning over to one tech after the fact. Maybe that's cool. I don't know. Dan, and this is a bad sign for Dwayne Carter. And with Jalen Carter is 315. Sanders is very aggressive. Thomas, no, we are getting more aggressive and faster. Man, not zone. I still think we're probably going to keep the zone because we really only have one fast guy out there. Great pickup for the Cardinals. Will Johnson, the Arizona Cardinals. Solid stuff. He fell to him. Welcome to the squad. Who the hell is going to select Shedeur Sanders? Steelers? Oh, Steelers don't even have a second-round pick. Steelers don't even have a second-round pick, man. Will Johnson to the Cardinals. Shedeur, so is about to be Josh Allen's backup right after they get him in the 6th round. TJ, hold up. Oh. And so is it September yet? Absolutely. And so it's a good pick for me. And so it's a trade up value, but I have no complaints about the Bills pick. I trust Bean for the most part. And for the most part, I do as well. It's just going to take me a second to like make sense of it. Right? And so I trust them, but damn. Yo, Dan, what did I miss? And did we select already? Yes, massive peeve. We did. We selected TJ Sanders, a defensive tackle out of South Carolina. He's a pass rushing DT. He's played both, right? He's played both, like from 0 tech and all the way to 5 tech. He has snaps all over the place. Some of the things he struggles with, though, so are things that 1 tech defensive tackles do on an elite standard. For me, I probably would have selected Alfred Collins. Like, that's who I think that I would have went for. We saw him go off of the board 2 picks later. That's me. But you know what? Maybe Bean surprises us. Maybe Bean surprises us, okay? For me, I just think it's redundant. Because, like, say, for example, right? So you do have, like, those 2-3 techs, like Dwayne pointed out, like where San Francisco typically runs that. The entire point of a big body right in the middle is not even so much like stopping the run. Like, that's a big portion of it. But when you have a dude out there that can draw double teams, like center left guard, center right guard, whatever, have to double team one guy because they know that he's massive and he's going to get through, it levels the playing field, right? And it opens up lanes for everybody else on that defensive line to get to the quarterback. Like, now I just feel like that, like, we're not opening up a lot of like lanes, right? And as much as I'm very optimistic that Joey Bosa can win his one-on-ones, right? Because say, for example, that we run with 2-3 techs or somebody playing the 1 tech position, right? Like, now that offensive line is going to choose to double team somebody else. Whether or not that's Gregory Rousseau or whether or not that's Joey Bosa. So we're taking off both of our best pass rushers almost immediately, or one of them right at the time. If, for example, you were to have like an Alfred type Collins type guy, either Rousseau or either Joey Bosa, more than likely we're going to have an open lane. Same thing with Ed Oliver, because Ed Oliver is relatively undersized, right? I don't know. Keep Let's Fresh, and they will get another defensive tackle. Man, I love it. Jay Anthony. Okay, didn't like the pick. And how do we feel about it in the chat? Jay, so I'm not hey Dwayne, we have a poll going. Yeah. So we do a poll, I think, right now of what everyone thought about the TJ Sanders pick. I'm curious to get the group consensus. Yeah, we have our little juice heads after week 8. We got our little juice heads after week 8, man. If Bills don't get Landon Jackson or Xavier Watts, I don't know what I will do. It's Boogie Basham vibes. And this is another Boogie Basham pick. And so you don't get into the extra points for the flash. And so do you think we change up our defensive scheme and play more of an aggressive style? So, I mean, one would assume, right? One would assume. Because, like, why the hell else would he do that? The Bops. Is Sanders' pick a Bean or an organization pick? I feel like both of those are synonymous, but it was probably like a mix of both, to be honest with you. Where's the poll? Yeah, we'll see if Dwayne can get back in here and put it in. It's the Boogie Basham vibes is insane. Thoughts on Jack Sawyer, Xavier Watts, or Demetrius Knight Jr. falling to us possibly? And so I'd be fine with Xavier Watts. Dude, look. Secondary is crazy. So you know what? Like, might as well get Xavier Watts because now we have... Dude, listen. I am not sleeping on our damn secondary. Like, Maxwell Harrison allows us to do a hell of a lot more in the secondary as possible. But we'll see. We'll see. And the Rams tight end pick was a rich. Rams ultimately ended up going Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Yes, they did. Cincinnati. Who's Cincinnati selecting? By the way, with Ursary, solid selection from Minnesota. He's a great offensive tackle. And so I need a crash out defense this year. Just be super, super crazy. Please vote, guys. Have at it. Guys, please vote in the poll. What did you think about the TJ Sanders pick? We're all very interested. Shout out to Anthony for the donation. Thank you so much, man. And don't we rotate our defensive line throughout the game? Maybe have young, fresh legs rotate, and we get another defensive tackle. That's what I was trying to say. Go Bills. Yeah, we do. It just depends on who we select. Like, say, for example, like we could walk away with the Deion Walker later, like, say, in the 4th, for example. I'd feel pretty good about it. And so I'd feel better. And so if we run 2-3 tech defensive tackle, we need a thumper as a strong safety. That should be Cole Bishop. That's what he's known for, is coming downhill and being a dog against the run. So they take Demetrius Knight Jr. It's Demetrius linebacker. And Harrison also opens up the thought of a cornerback blitz for sure. What you think about the Cowboys pick? Great pick by the Cowboys. Love Donovan Ezeruku. Him, and ideally say that Micah Parsons is not traded because Jerry Jones is allegedly working on a major trade right now. A Donovan Ezeruku, and then you add a Micah Parsons, that pass rush is about to be lethal. Solid stuff. Mike Green is about to be gone. He's fallen significantly. Don't let the fucking Broncos get that guy, dude. That or the Seattle Seahawks. Say Seattle Seahawks can do it. We'll see. So do you feel like the D-line is better with this pick? I just don't think they needed to trade up for him. Say that we were to walk away with Alfred Collins with that, then we would be having an entire different conversation, right? But then again, like maybe I'm being too rough. Like maybe they have a different scheme that's going to be implemented. This is obviously a knee-jerk reaction. Somebody talk me off of a ledge. So according to Draft Tech, Sanders was the 6th best defensive tackle on the board. Okay, that's helping a little bit. And so I live in Dallas, Fort Worth. I love Dallas. It's a great city. Dan, it's your boy Demetrius linebacker. I know. And now he's on the Cincinnati Bengals. We have Tim Settles. Attack a cop with a deadly weapon. Who did that? If Broncos get Green, no passing allowed. Dude. Oh, my God. And with the Josh Allen lives 2 hours away from me. That's awesome. How do you feel about Shedeur Sanders falling in the draft? I don't know what happened during those interviews because while I thought that he would go down to like 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I wasn't anticipating he'd fall this far. And the Steelers, right? So the Steelers don't have a 2nd round pick. Maybe the Raiders select him at 26 here, but I don't know. I don't know, man. We have 1,100 people up in here, 465 in the chat. Guys, smash that like button for me. Let's see what it is. Dan, and you have to see where the vote is so far, and the crowd is very split. All right, man, I'm going to pull it up because I'm curious to see where the crowd is. I'm going to check it out. So I got to feed my boy Milo here in like 2 seconds. It's my diabetic dog. He has a schedule when he eats. Let me see. All right, so we have we have 19% hate it, 34% like it, and we have 8% loved it. Ooh, okay. Keep on voting in the poll, folks. What did you think about the TJ Sanders pick? It's the positivity, man. Listen, I do like positivity because, as many of you know, I'm a huge proponent for a lot of this. What players available at 56 and 62 will infuriate you about the Bills trading up for Sanders? It's not even so much that. It's the fact that like we traded up for a third tech or a third 3 tech that like we already have on the roster, right? Because we have Dwayne Carter, we have Ed Oliver. So we basically ended up grabbing somebody that in present day is third on the depth chart. Where when you look at the one tech defensive tackle position, we have Daquan Jones, who is the sole credible starter that has that responsibility, and he has an expiring contract next year. So kind of confused, but then again, like we've said oftentimes that we're planning on like wanting to double dip. And hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's the case, man. Maybe it all works out. Maybe it all works out. The Panthers traded up. Damn. What's wild is TJ Sanders was drafted before Shedeur Sanders. And the Panthers just traded up. And so I didn't like the trade up either. And so the pick is a good pick, though. We are going to get more versatile with our style of defense. Speed is developing in every position in the NFL. And that's a great viewpoint. Ryan, you know what? I'm fine with that. Sort of help me make sense of it, right? And so a lot of other fan bases, so with the online are saying we got to steal with TJ Sanders, that pass rush looking better, but still need that big body TD. Folks, I'll be right back. We're back. We're back, folks. You have Nick Scorton, where the Panthers traded up. The Tennessee Titans are back on the clock. Stop harping on a pick that no one knows what the outcome will be. No one will know what Benford White Milano was in either. Geez, yeah, I have no faith. Go Bills. We have so the Buccaneers took Shador. No way. Did they? I was about to say, man, no fake news in the chat. Nick Scorton is the guy. We are going to get to the QB. That's what matters. Absolutely. We still got the QB, man. We're good. Dan just got baited. I did. You're trolling. No way. Nick Scorton ultimately ends up going over there. It's not the faith. And so it's the fact that we gave up another second for a defensive tackle that we already rostered two of the same prototype. Don't worry, be happy. And with everything's going to be all right. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, you see, Aladejo comes off. And so I really hope either Mike Green or Landon Jackson fall to the Bills, but don't think either do. One can hope. We have Andy, wide receiver or edge in round 3, or we double dip. I feel like at this point I want a wide receiver. I feel like I want a wide receiver. Jay Anthony has come in. This would have been a good pick for us as well. I still want more defense. And so no team wants the sideshow that comes along with Shador. What number is our second pick? It's in the 3rd round. I want to say it's relatively early. By the way, it's funny that Trey Amos is still on the board, right? It's really funny that Trey Amos is still on the board. Maybe 72. Just know we just got one. We got Ricardo Green is coming in saying, has Kyle Williams been taken? He is not. Say, for example, Kyle Williams can fall, then that would be ideal. Hey, Dan, and could it be a money thing why they traded 2 seconds for an earlier second and the third? So I think we just wanted to get into the third, right? So I think that we're still going to be moving up in some of the later rounds. It's tough for me to believe that we're going to walk away with 10 picks. I feel like we leveraged that so that we could get into the third somehow, and I'm okay. We have every round Sanders drops, he should put on a smaller chain. Oh, my God. Everyone hit that like button coming in. 1,100 of you are in. What was the poll results right now? 400 watching and 200 likes. Oh, Dwayne. Guys, listen. Say, for example, you're enjoying the show. The easiest way to show some love is quite simply just by smashing that like button for me. It helps propel it out to the YouTube algorithm so more people will be able to discover the show and make it happen, man. Let's get into it. Smash that like button, man. Let's get closer to about 300. We'll be good. Dan, so do you think the TJ pick has to do with the Ogunjobi missing 6 games and 2 years left on Ed Oliver's contract? I'll tell you what, Sergeant. It could be, right? It could be. But it could also mean that maybe we're trying to have somewhat of an identity shift on defensive line, maybe. I'm sitting here waiting for answers, and I'm excited to see what they do. I'm not going to be negative about it anymore. Yes, I'm upset that we didn't go with the scheme fit, at least what was perceived. For all I know, we have changed the scheme that we want to run next year. So I trust Brandon Beane. Yes, this guy has some solid pass rushing chops. Solid rotational player. Fresh legs. I hope it works out. Hey, Dan, what is your opinion on the Eagles picking up Jihad Campbell? Howie Roseman just destroys every single draft that he ever touches, right? So I know that he has a bit of an injury concern, but dude, once that guy is healthy, like y'all are telling me that the Eagles have Zach Baugh and you have Nakobe Dean and then you have Jihad Campbell. Give me a break. Like, point out a weakness to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Point out a weakness on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Like, you can't, dude. Like, it's insane with what that they were able to do. Benjamin Morrison is off of the board for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, folks. CB and Trey Amos has fallen significantly, boys. So a change of thoughts on TJ Sanders. He's got violent hands, which makes it difficult to block him. Shador Sanders equals Will Levis. Oh, no. Statement. So I trust B and I trust the process, and we're putting Mahomes on notice. We got the fastest cornerback and a line that's getting to the quarterback. We have good faith in the family. Hey, man, listen. I am so excited to see how this team plays out next year. Smash that like button like Ray Rice. Oh, damn. And so that got dark real fast, didn't it, bro? Keep doing defense, Bean. We're bound to find a couple of diamonds in the rough. Go Bills. We have Andy Bean in 2026, first for Howie. Why don't we give 2 5s and 1 6 for a 4th round? Maybe. So we need to beef up the run defense. So we have some pretty stout, right? So here's something too, right? Like, I'm really trying to make sense of this. And the more that I think about it, there's rumors that we're planning on running with essentially 2 strong safeties at the safety position, right? Both Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp on paper are way more downhill run defenders. Like, that's where they excel. Both of them excel there. And it's been rumored that both of them, right, are going to be the starting safety tandem, barring some crazy competition in training camp, or barring Forrest to go out there and just be an absolute stud. If, for example, we just run 2-3 techs or something along those lines, perhaps that could be, but yeah, I don't know. We have Albert Scott. So we could have used the 30 for anything and still got Trey Amos at 56. Listen. So one thing I can tell you is that Max Harrison has way better upside than Trey Amos. Way better upside. So the whole like tackling thing for me, like some people are just like, oh my God, he can't tackle. Here's what I got to tell you about that. Tackling is coachable, right? Like you can coach that. You cannot coach 4.28 40-yard dash. You cannot coach a natural feel for zone coverage in which that he came from. You cannot coach ball skills. And you cannot coach hip fluidity, his ability to change direction, jump routes. Like, dude's a ball hawk. And say, for example, y'all want someone to tackle that bad, then just go on ahead and just pound the table for Landon Jackson. It's weird because people are looking at Max Harrison and they're saying, oh my God, he can't tackle. Like, is that the most important thing to you? How many good tackling cornerbacks has Tyreek Hill and Xavier Worthy completely burned? Right? I'd rather have a corner that has the speed that can go shot for shot with any wide receiver in the NFL. He literally can go shot for shot, any wide receiver in the NFL. Any one of them. Running right next to him. Say that he misses a couple of tackles here and there, but like he's going to give me 3 to 4 interceptions a game, and he's going to be sticky coverage on every single speedster wide receiver. Sign me up. Sign me up, dude. Like 4.28 is insane. And he's his own corner. Melvin Gordon. And so if the wide receiver never catches the ball, then he never has to tackle. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. I would. So a lot of other fan bases online are saying that we got to steal in TJ Sanders. I don't know how much about him. Seems like an athletic guy with a good pass rush capability. And so again, right? Like my beef with him is not the player. He's a good player, right? Like he's a really, really good player. But for me, it was sort of like, so my car transmission is on the fritz. But like what I decided to do is so I decided to go on ahead and just buy like a shit ton of really nice rims for the car, right? That's probably a terrible analogy. Something that's very important that needs to be fixed, at least what was perceived to me, was ignored, and we did something which was nominal. Like we doubled down on something which didn't really make a lot of sense, right? Yeah. But again, maybe we're trying to shift our defensive line identity. Maybe we're trying to mimic what the Philadelphia Eagles did last year. I don't know. So it's not the player I'm upset with. It's why did we bring in a third 3-tech defensive tackle? That's my question. But what can you do? And you have to trust the process. He was on the all SEC team. But like, here's the deal, right? He's not a bust. He's a good player. But I'm kind of like, how is that a day one contributor? He's a depth player. Like right now, prior to training camp, he's third on the depth chart. So behind Ed Oliver and Dwayne Carter. Maybe he can beat Carter out or Ed. Who knows? But where it stands, he's third on the depth chart. And so our edge rushers don't get it. And so I promise you, Albert, that Max Harrison's way better than Trey Amos. Significantly better than Trey Amos. I can promise you that. John has come in. And so our edge rushers don't get to the quarterback enough, so an interior threat will help. I mean, hey, listen, I'm okay with it, man. Listen, maybe we're trying to switch up identity on defensive line. Like, that's really the only way that I could... That's the only way that I could really think on. You know what I mean? Trey Harris to the Rams. So that makes sense for the Rams because what they needed was a big-bodied receiver. A lot of people wanted Trey Harris on the Buffalo Bills, but I always tried to tell them, like, he's literally Keon Coleman. Like, he runs like a 4.5, 4.6 40. He's a big body guy. He's a contested catch guy. Not crazy separation. And that's not a bad thing, right? Like, we need a wide receiver like that on the team. But again, like us drafting Trey Harris when we have Keon Coleman on this roster is virtually the same thing when the Bills drafted TJ Sanders when we already have Ed Oliver on the roster, right? It's redundancy for me, but is what it is. I'm glad Kyle Williams still appears to be on the board, though. So you had Anthony Belton, you have Benjamin Morrison, Trey Harris, Chicago Bears are next. And we'll see who the Chicago Bears select at 56. Because this is where the Buffalo Bills would have selected. So I'm curious to see who would have been here, like what range would have been here. Because really, like what I was thinking, so what I would have ideally liked to do was select at 56, but then again, like we saw Alfred Collins go right where we traded up to. So maybe it wasn't even like a good strategy in the first place. But like what I was potentially thinking, select 56, trade down 62 to get into the third. But hey, listen, if Kyle Williams or Jalen Royals is in there right in the third, I'm going to be a happy guy. Whatever, we're good. And then give me a Deion Walker. If you get me a Deion Walker in the fourth or the fifth, all is forgiven. But hey, listen, we've been saying that we're going to double dip. So I'm okay with it. Is Shedeur Sanders going to get in? And the Broncos trade. Oh, Lions are on the clock. Who's Detroit keeping, baby? All right, so the Chicago Bears. Who are they selecting here? Yeah, let me go ahead. Let me pull up Jordan Schultz. Trey Harris of the Chargers. Makes sense. All right, Chicago. Who do you got? Who's picking for them? We have Ice Reaper Frost has come in. Dan, and they are not even thinking about a wide receiver until the fourth round, and that is the late fourth. I don't really know who else we would select at this point, right? Like Landon Jackson or something like that, perhaps. Like edge rusher. Say that Jalen Royals is going to go right in the top of the third. I could potentially see we go there. If not, then Kyle Williams. If not, then I could see us wait until the fourth or the fifth and grab a Thornton, which I would be okay with too. I'd be all right with that. Jack Sawyer screams lion. And so you think that the reason that we can't get to the QB so is a scheme issue or a player issue? It's more personnel, I would say. It's more personnel. It's not scheme. And Dan, is now a time where we grab Mike Green and pair him with Greg? I'd feel all right with that. And did Xavier Watts go? He did not. I just saw a Nike commercial with Sanders at him saying draft night is going to be legendary. Oh, no. We have Benjamin Haskins. I love and that they have to pump booze for Seth Kent Rollins. Hey, guys, shout out to everybody rocking with me today. And 439 of you on YouTube right now, guys. Smash that like button. 734 of you on X and 12 of you on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook people rocking it. Guys, listen, Facebook. Say, for example, you want a more and so engaged community. And so of other live chatters, I highly recommend you come on over to YouTube. It's Dan Mitchell, same name. And you can meet a lot of friends in this live chat because we're having a great time. Dan. And so you know you're on record saying Maxwell is not a scheme fit and Trey Amos is our guy. Prove it. Prove it. Special teamers and free agents from college. That's it, Dan. Bean gets one player, Max Harrison. Did Sanders get drafted yet? Not yet. Does Mike Green have any injury history? Scott, 10 picks, we get one starter. Aaron is saying Shador is still available. He might go to the third, to be honest with you. Chris Poopall, linebacker, just watch for our next pick. Just got a feeling. Oren is saying if we double dip this early, it means someone messed up and don't think they are going to do it. I think we get all in. Yuki, what up, man? How you doing? How you doing? John was saying not happy with his draft so far. I like Hairston, but would have wanted him at 56 if possible. He wouldn't have fell to 56. Yeah, dude. He would have been gone probably within like the next couple of picks. He's the dude. He's the dude for us, man. He really is. Vade is saying smash that like button, hit that subscribe button to become a part of the family. Go Bills and go Dan. Go you guys, man. Go you guys, man. We appreciate that. Mike Green, 3 essays, an attitude problem has dropped for a reason. Scott saying good job. Thank you, man. Thank you. Please block this fool. Please block this fool. Please block that guy. So Harrison hyped all the other first round picks. Love the attitude. We have Ben Haskins. And so do you feel there is a position of need in the third? I feel like they could go really anywhere, right? So say that we double dip at defensive tackle. Say that we double dip at defensive tackle. I'd probably want to wait until the 4th or the 5th because there are a couple of guys here and there. But let's see. We got the MJ Rides. Hi. And can you shout me out? We need to get Jack Sawyer because Dorian and Milano, and that ain't enough because Milano is regressing. Can you shout me out? What up, dude? MJ Rides, what up? So we need to get Jack Sawyer because Dorian and Milano, and that ain't enough because Milano is regressing. Sawyer's still on the board. We'll see. He's an edge, though, isn't he? Watch TJ Sanders highlights, not impressed. He's a good player, right? Like, he's a good player. But he's a 3-tech, right? So I want to see what Bean's doing with it. Love Harrison. Like, that right there is a pick that I'm very happy with. So I would have been happier. So I would have been happier with Tyleik Williams, who reports came in that Buffalo was going to select him if, for example, that he fell to us, but he didn't. But as far as a corner, love Harrison. With TJ Sanders, love the player. I'm questioning the fit. I'm questioning the scheme fit. Tate Ratledge out of Georgia, interior offensive lineman for the Lions, is now officially there. Thoughts on TJ Sanders? Would have loved to have seen us get a Georgia defensive player, and Kirby develops NFL talent. We have Walk It Off Sports, $5. So I'll tell you what, man. Listen, he's a solid pass rushing defensive tackle, right? I don't hate the player. He's talented, right? I'm just wondering how we intend on using him, right? I'm curious to see how we use him. We're good at one tech now, right? Because we have Daquan Jones, of course, hoping he can stay healthy all year. We could still potentially double dip at the defensive tackle position later in the draft where I'd be okay. Say that he doesn't pan out, that we could always go back to the draft again next year. But it was just kind of weird to me because like we already have 2 players currently on the roster that have his exact same responsibility. So that's kind of where I'm like, whatever. Let me see. We have Richard Forbes, good. We have D Superman F. Yuki says, "Yo, I'm a big fan for a long time now. I don't know if you remember me, but I've been in a lot of your streams. And do you think the Bills should go for a small, fast wide receiver in the fourth?" Well, we just have a third round pick, and to be completely honest with you, I would be okay if we hear that Kyle Williams. Say that we hear Kyle Williams and or a Jalen Royals is selected in the third for me. Third would be good. Damn. Damn. All right, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have. So we're the seventh pick in the third round. So I'm actually okay with it. Now I'm kind of wondering what they're doing. So we have some updates, folks. So the Raiders selected Jack Betch. And so the Baltimore Ravens selected Mike Green. So we have Jack Beck and Mike Green was selected by the Ravens. Mike Green is now a Baltimore Raven. Solid class. Solid class. Oh, sorry. I'll get Yuki off the screen. My bad. My bad. And so, good evening, Dan. So, have some good picks so far. Fastest man in the draft and one of the most athletic defensive linemen in the draft. I think they're trying to replace Oliver and feel like they could get two tech role from a veteran after Jones. Yeah, maybe. Sorry, 259. Still unacceptable. Dan, what would you think about Deontay Thornton? Would be happy with him. Say that we selected him over Royals or Kyle Williams. I'd probably be like a bit of a head scratcher there. But then again, it's everybody eats on the offensive side of the football. So I'd feel okay. That could be it. We have TJ has come in. He says, and do you even think there's a possibility that we use Maxwell right away? It's tough to say with McDermott, man. Like, we know that he likes to put rookies on training wheels, but it just depends on how he ultimately ends up preparing. Walk It Off Sports. So be looking for a message from me. Just started a channel and would love to have you on closer to football season. Go Dogs, go Bills. Let me tell you what, man. Let me know. Let me know, my friend. I always encourage anybody that loves talking sports to make themselves a YouTube channel, dude. It's fun. It's a blast. I have a great time doing it. It's a lot of hard work, especially if like you ever have the intention of turning it into like a full-time career. It's a lot of work. But if you have the discipline, I promise you'll make it, my friend. I promise you'll make it. Browns can use Sanders and trade up with us to jump the Steelers, and we could get the capital. Maybe. We have Jack Sawyer is a good fit, but I feel like we could have taken Luther because he is athletic and we need a slot receiver. So we have Khalil Shakir. He runs out of the slot. Like Luther is exclusively a slot guy. Like he played on the outside his rookie season or his first season in college, and it wasn't that impressive, so they moved him to slot in the first place. So I think Luther was eh. Hey, Dan, did Jalen Royals get drafted yet or Hudson from UCF? Neither of them have yet. I am watching this draft board like a hawk right now. I'm trying to think of any team that could potentially go for a wide receiver. It sounds like reports are coming in. It hasn't been announced yet. But Mike Green is a Baltimore Raven. So Bean once again made a terrible move. Bean once made a terrible move. CJ's corner. So like I've said with TJ Sanders, right? Good player, right? I don't think he drafted a bum, but it's more of a utilization question. It's more of a utilization question for me. Does this mean that he's trying to completely revamp the identity of what this defensive line has been for the past couple of years? If that's the case, cool. And so I'll sit back and I'll see what we can do. But I'm not mad. I'm confused, right? Like, that's what it is. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just confused. So if we're going to double dip, I'd wish we traded for Nick with the Eminwari. Instead, he is a specimen who looks like a buffalo, and drafted an edge or a defensive tackle like Ty Robinson later, since it's a vast draft class in the defensive line. Ryan's coming on in, man. Some Ty Robinson is interesting too, but bear with me because I'm pretty sure that that would also be another redundant situation here. He's a versatile defensive lineman, but hold up. He's probably more of a true 3-tech too. So say that we went with another 3-tech defensive tackle, I'm going to be like, okay, some crazy shit going on. We'll see. Again, special thanks to the amazing mod team. I cannot echo that enough. Shout out to Dwayne. Shout out to Mike Green. Shout out to Andy Johnson. Shout out to everybody that I forgot. I love all of you. You guys keep the peace. Man, love that so much, man. Was it a reach? Moved up 15 spots for this Bean. I don't think it was a reach either, right? Because I don't think that it was a reach, because we saw an Alfred Collins go just 2 picks later, and there was a run on defensive linemen. But that's it. We have Teresa saying, how about we focus on some offense? She wants a splash offensive move on the next one. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. Did you forget to give your dog his shot? His shot, I have to give it to him in 20 minutes. I fed him at 7:30, so because I am in Central Time. So if someone can kindly remind me in the chat that I need to give Milo his insulin in 20, and we'll be good. So reports are coming in that Mike Green is the selection for the Baltimore Ravens. That's what I'm seeing. However, let's wait for the television to confirm. So the Ravens are walking away with Malachi Starks and Mike Green. They are really investing in that defense. We got Mark Connolly. So the defense wants to see a wide receiver for us in the third. A specific wide receiver I think I'm looking for. It's absolutely awful. So many needs. 300-pound interior defensive tackle. Oh, man. I got you, bro. Thank you so much, man. Ravens are taking who the Bills want. So Mike Green probably wouldn't have fallen like that far. And say the Bills were high on Mike Green, I think that probably would have been the pick with the trade up. But like maybe we just didn't want, because like he has quite a bit of baggage from what I understand. Hey, Dan, why would you have wanted Norman Lott? He is a defensive tackle, only 6'2", 291 pounds. He does actually have a bit of chops, like right within the interior, right? He's still on the board. He's still on the board. I don't know. And so to be honest with you, like really who I wanted and what's thrown me off was like Alfred Collins, but now I've kind of been shifting to Deion Walker from Kentucky. Hopefully we can find him in the 4th or the 5th. That's if he falls far enough. And we'll go. We got Joe. We're still focused on the Chiefs and not Derrick Henry. Even if we draft Kyle Williams or Jalen Royals, who would take the starting role away from? So the Buffalo Bills really only have 4 quality caliber starting wide receivers on the roster right now, right? So we only have Shakir, we have Coleman. So we have Shakir, we have Coleman, we have Curtis Samuel, and then Joshua Palmer. Somebody in here was arguing with me a long time ago saying that the Bills typically only end up keeping 5 wide receivers. And it only ended up happening once by choice. And that was because last year when we ultimately ended up starting off that way, but then we ended up bringing in Amari Cooper. So what the Bills like to do is have 6 wide receivers on the roster. Year prior to that, we started off with 6, but Shorter ended up getting placed on the IR. So we had to run with 5 then. But vast majority of the seasons, you had 6, you had 7. I think Buffalo wants to stay with 6 wide receivers. I think that's what they want to do. Even if they one season started off with 5, they typically end up bringing somebody else in for a 6th. So he wouldn't necessarily take away a spot from anybody. It also depends on whether or not that Laviska Shenault is going to make the roster as a kick returner. Say that he beats out Codrington, then we're really only looking for one more spot. But yes, I do think that we run with 6 wide receivers this year. The fact we got a double dip for that pick to mean something is annoying. Right. Media, why are we forgetting about guys like Phillips, Farmer, and Caldwell at nose tackle? I would be fine with a Jordan Phillips out of Maryland, too. He was also on my board that I'd be okay with. Chadman and Ravens have Mike Green. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Mike Green is now a Denver Bronco. Excuse me, a Baltimore Ravens. So they have Malachi Starks and they have this. Still, Laviska won't make it, so I'd rather have Samuel returning. So Laviska's a good kick returner. He's a good one. Not a good wide receiver, but a good kick returner. I'm very excited to see who wins, like that competition. Say that it's Codrington, we're good, right? So because he's a DB, right? He's listed as a DB, right? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Damn. RJ Harvey. Damn. Damn. Damn, boys. Let's see what else I needed here. Oh, we have Dr. Jekyll has come in. And so he says, looks like everyone is trying to stop Mahomes with this draft. We have Jalen. Ravens had all pros, and we just have above average. But we do have an MVP. We can't worry about who we don't get, just who we got. Go Bills. I love that. Harvey over Caleb Johnson. Interesting. Ravens having the best draft so far. I think they're up there. But then again, guys, so there is a reason. So one thing about Mike Green is that he is god awful at stopping the run. Like he is one of the worst run defenders when it comes into the edge rushing class coming in. Like he can't set an edge to save his damn life. You know what I mean? He can't chase down a running back. He's not very good against the run. But his pass rushing capability is still there. Washington Commanders. So Harrison's better than Amos, guys. Boy, did Bean waste that Diggs pick. And with Kyle Williams will end up with the Chiefs. Give me a break. So I feel like the Chiefs are pretty much set at the wide receiver position, right? Like you have Xavier Worthy. So they just re-signed. They just ultimately ended up re-signing. And so Hollywood Brown as well. I suppose they lost D-Hop, but like, or yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that D-Hop's on the Ravens. Who are the Chiefs selecting? RJ Harvey. And Braden Swinson out of LSU. I'd be okay with him. Would you be okay if the Bills selected Kyle Williams? Yes. Yeah, he's my favorite wide receiver. And with Axel, and did you sleep through the last Super Bowl? And so I'd be down for Kyle Williams, so would I. Ravens are about to win the Super Bowl. We have Christine Gonzalez coming in. Ooh. Smash that like button. Have we come to a consensus about TJ Sanders? By the way, so these spamming bots are so versatile, right? Because Dwayne told me that he did something and I thought it was a perfect plan, but for some reason, they always find a way. They always find a way to get their bot asses back in here. Oh my God. Sanders, it's pretty split. Like some people hate it, some people are like, I'm confused, some people love it. So with TJ Sanders, he's a really good player. He brings a lot to the table. But for me, it's like why do we currently have three tech defensive tackles on this roster? It's more of a confusion for me rather than he sucks. He does not suck. But it just didn't really be so it wasn't perceived as something that I thought would fit the Bills scheme, but maybe the Bills are trying to change it. I don't know. We will see. We have Louisiana Lee, Trey Amos, and so is about to get cut up for Washington. Very good pick for them. Sanders felt like John Cena turning heel, but I understand why it happened. Ty Felton is another wide receiver I'd be interested in other than Kyle Williams, and Royals would be sick too. And that was a different person, Dan. Yeah, most definitely. And they always find their way in here, don't they? I will block that word as well. Thank you, sir. So he's a 3-tech/1 tech. Yeah, but some of his weaknesses based off of his scouting report are things that you do not want a 1-tech defensive tackle to be, right? Yes, I know that he's played it before, but it doesn't mean that he's a very good one, right? He's a very good 3-tech. Below average 1-tech. Below average 1-tech. But we'll see. Somebody came in, Drew, and told me that they think that Dwayne Carter is beefing up and he's going to go ahead and take that role. I don't know. Maybe we run with multiple interior like pass rushers. Maybe that's the case. If we don't take a wide receiver with our next pick, I think we go safety or a defensive end. Yeah. So do we have a 3rd round pick now? We do. We are picking the 7th pick in the 3rd. Who are the Bears selecting? Toon Army, what up, dude? Hear me out. We pick Sanders and trade him for draft capital. Oh my god. We go linebacker next. Watch. Dude, is that insane that Shador Sanders has literally fallen to the third? Thanks for being here to watch the draft with me, Dan. Loving it. Kyle, hey man, listen, I appreciate that, bro. And so I do this each and every single year. I'm glad you boys are coming in here and rocking with it. Sanders QB2 could slap. Oh my god. And Bob is looking at me funny. Damn it. And did the Bills pick yet? Yeah, we selected TJ Sanders. And Shador is going to a team no one expected. Shamar Turner. Shamar Turner might be that dude. And could Sanders go undrafted? I don't know. Shador to the CFL. Sanders' career is over. The Cleveland Browns. And oh wow. So do we go wide receiver or defensive tackle in the third, or DB? Excuse me. Here's my thoughts. Say that it was up to me. Say that Xavier Watts is on the board. I'd take him. Say that Xavier Watts was on the board. I'd take him. But will he fall that far? I think that's the question. All right, Chiefs Kingdom. What are you selecting? Omar Norman Lott, folks. The Chiefs draft a bum, somebody came in and said. Wow, so underwhelmed with these horrible picks by the Bills. Retro mutt. Not upset about Maxwell Hairston, right? So Maxwell Hairston was a great pick for the Buffalo Bills. And so I really don't understand why people don't like Maxwell Hairston. So last year, I feel like all right. So the same people mad about Maxwell Hairston are the same people so that we're mad that we didn't get Xavier Worthy. So a 4.28 40 is only important when a wide receiver runs it or something. Like, that's kind of my question. And with anyone talking trash about any of the picks that we have so far, when they haven't even played a down in the NFL, can shut. Wow. And you don't know what you're talking about. Oh my God. Damn, Andy. And so I like the picks, but not what I was expecting. But I'm no GM. Maxwell is an ant. He is the exact same size as Trey White was when he drafted him. 7 minutes. Puppy needs a shot. Thank you so much. Damn. Thank you. So Harrison is the best CB we could have gotten and needed. Bills. I think the Bills know something. Drew is saying Maxwell was the best pick we had with who is left. Who is the best defensive player left? Philly will pick him. So what's the safety tandem like in Philly, right? Like, what's the safety tandem in Philly right now? Let me see. So they have Reed Blankenship and they have Sidney Brown. So imagine if they go Xavier Watts right here. Who is Shador going to? I don't even know, bro. I'm starting to warm up to Harrison as pick 30, but Sanders still puzzles me. It's not a bad player. It's just confusing, right? But hey, listen, I'm open to seeing how it works. Hey, the Bills have won the AFC East 5 years running. They obviously aren't idiots, so let's just let them do their jobs. Absolutely. KMOS, just pick up Dolak and call it a night. Well, I mean, not now. That would be OP if Sanders went to the Jaguars. And so imagine if Shiloh went before Shador and the draft board fell Bean's head. So I have a feeling like the Bills are going to select Landon Jackson. He was the first pick in the second round with Carson Schweisinger. He was the first one in the second round. I'll be right back. All right. Safety. Watts is falling. All right, chat. And so your boy needs to do a TikTok real fast. Bear with me. Like that, like it all, baby. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Get this again. Ladies and gentlemen, here is my first reaction to the second round of the NFL draft. No, I don't like that. I'm going to do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, here is my instant reaction to the second round of the 2025 NFL draft. Number one, the Cleveland Browns have just started the Ignore Shador Sanders contest like no other, selecting Carson Schweisinger, a linebacker out of UCLA, and then a Quinshon Judkins. Love the Jaden Higgins pick. I was kind of surprised that he went above Luther Burden, but reports were suggesting that. But the Bears ultimately ended up getting him. Watch out for the Bears this year, folks. Further, Shador Sanders. Let me try that again. To continue the Ignore Shador Sanders at all costs competition, the New Orleans Saints end up going with Tyler Shuck. Will Sanders go in the third? Now, the Buffalo Bills get TJ Sanders. I don't hate the player. He's a good player. It's just kind of confusing as far as scheme, but I'm interested to see what Brandon Beane has in store for him. Donovan Ezeruku right over to the Dallas Cowboys. Him and Micah Parsons, give me a damn break. Then Will Johnson ends up falling to the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see how his knee ultimately ends up holding up. And Demetrius Knight Jr., a much needed defensive pick for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me see if there's anybody else I'm interested in looking at. Finally, we see Trey Amos fall all the way to the Washington Commanders, a highly touted prospect that was actually projected in the first round, falls very far into the second, but solid pickup for the Washington Commanders. And then wrapping it all up, you have Makuba going to the Philadelphia Eagles. The rich get richer. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. What was the biggest surprise of this second round? And like and follow for more daily NFL content. Folks, that right there was behind the scenes of Dan Mitchell TikTok. Wow, holy shit. Yes, I did give Milo his insulin. That's where I went. I'm a good dog dad. I am a good dog dad, folks. All right, let's put this up. The Giants, who are they selecting? Have Darius Alexander falling all the way to the third, going to the New York Giants. Solidifying, dude. Solidifying. I feel so bad for Shador. We have Amanda coming in. And so all the D tackles are going. Darius Alexander to the Giants. Vade question. Dan, and do you think Shakir can play X by itself or if we need it? I'm sure he could play X if we needed him to, but here's my question. Why fix what's not broken? We have the Chiefs again on the board. Let's see who they're going with. Ashton Gelati. All right, interesting. They have Alexander. And so I felt bad until I realized he's an entitled douchebag. Oh, wow. Sanders is just not good. I don't understand why people are shocked. Chiefs got Gelati. Yeah, we saw that. All right, guys. So Buffalo's going to be on the board here very, very soon. So does Sanders go to Cleveland now? Does Cleveland go to Sanders now? Let's see. Pickett is better than Sanders. Wow. Where did Ravens for Life go after the divisional game? Oh, man. Why not? Third round doesn't pan out, so be it. Ashton Gelati. Jonas. I think we take Jackson here and make a play to jump back and snag Williams or Royals. I'd be cool with that too. Chat, smash that like button for me. Smash that like button for me as you're coming on in. We're having a damn night this evening. We are having a night. Stop lying out your teeth, fool. Stop lying out your teeth, bro. You were a ghost. I never saw you again until like a month ago. At least admit it. At least admit it. You were gone, bro. You were gone. 18.5%. Look, so here's the deal. So the Chiefs own us in the playoffs, but the Chiefs and the Bills own the Ravens in the playoffs. So at least we only have one team that owns us. You have two teams that own you in the playoffs. It's a difficult pill to swallow. It's a difficult pill to swallow, man. So yes, the Chiefs own the Bills in the playoffs, but the Bills and the Chiefs own the Ravens in the playoffs. Sanders' move was dumb. Wasted draft capital for a guy who probably was there at 56. Why take Sanders now when you can build as much as you can during this year's draft? Then Cleveland can go after a QB in next year's draft. And so I went MIA. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But it's okay. Welcome back, man. You know you're cool in here. You're cool in here. So our team's afraid of Dion, him trying to speak for him to interfere. I don't know. You have Darius Alexander. You have that Ashton Gelati. The Jags are back on the clock, folks. Still no Shador. Still. We have Nara is coming in saying, looks like the Bills know exactly who they wanted, so they have a plan in mind. Trust the process. Chris, Dan, my Pats are coming up. Where do you think we go? Chris. So you got Will Campbell. Let me double check. And then you went Henderson, the running back, afterwards. Give me the Patriots. I think they go back to the offensive line. The pick is in for the Raiders. Darian Porter, DB. Solid player. And Sanders will go day 3. And so in 3 years from now, he won't even be in the league. Austin, who's taking Sanders? It's a great question. I mean, maybe the Saints finally do it. No, never mind. So they took Shook. I have no idea who's selecting Sanders. We better be using those 3 fifth-round picks we got back in the 3rd. Sadly, we're going to miss out on Jalen Royals or Kyle Williams because of the stupid trade up for a backup 3 tech. It's funny. It's funny. Bills have been saved by the board. Losing 109 sucks. But if they get Farmer or Jackson here, it is on. I don't know why. I want Jalen Royals really bad for some reason. / Kyle Williams. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Sanders is a piece of work if Raiders pass. Saints front office said they want nothing to do with Sanders because Sanders' interview with them was the worst interview ever. And so they had crazy something is off in Sanders and it's his ego. Raiders have 2 back-to-back picks at the end. If they don't take Sanders with 1, they are stupid. Williams, please. You have Kevin G. Why are we looking at a brick wall? Why is the WWE trying to... Kyle Williams off the board. He's so good. He's so good, dude. He's so good. He's so good. He's so good, man. Yo, watch out for the Pats this year, man. 2nd place team. That's a good ass. That's a good ass. That's a good ass wide receiver, Chris. Yeah, bro. You should be very happy about that one. Will Campbell, a Travion Henderson, a Kyle Williams. Yeah, dude. That's real good. Damn. And so I'm a Gamecocks fan. I live in the Carolinas. I'm not going off of draft grades. Hate to say it, and Pats are kind of killing it so far. So they have somebody else at the helm right now with Vrabel. Pipe down, he says. Damn. Isaac Tesla. There is a run. There's going to be a run on wide receiver right now, folks. I have a feeling Buffalo goes Jalen Royals. I have a feeling Buffalo goes Jalen Royals here. So here's what we're looking at right now, folks. So here are the potential swings. Landon Jackson, Braden Swinson, Jack Sawyer. You have Jalen Royals, Xavier Watts. Those are the 5 players that are potentially on the Buffalo Bills board. Who are we going here? Who are we going? I have a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling right now that it's going to be a wide receiver. So they took Kelvin Banks and Tyler Shook. So here are the potentials, folks. Landon Jackson, Braden Swinson, Jack Sawyer, Jalen Royals, Xavier Watts. Who are we going with? Royals or in a starting protest outside of One Bills Drive. Come on, Bean. Make up for that trash trade up. We just got to see who the Saints pick up. Hey. All right. So they selected a DT, Vernon Broughton. Vernon Broughton for the Saints. So the Bills are on the clock. Oh, my God. All right. Come on now. Come on now. I'm back. I'm sorry I had to take a piss. So Saints went with the defensive tackle. Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals, folks. Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals. 6 foot 205 Jalen Royals. 4'4", 240 Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals, Jalen Royals, Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals. Jalen Royals. You're playing yourself, Dan. I know I am. But let me be fun. Let me have fun. Folks, it's official. We got Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson, folks, solid run defender. We got 8 hits, 7 sacks, 20 hurries. He's the guy. He is the guy for the Buffalo Bills. Here's some of his strengths. Length, power, shows advanced hand technique and pass rush. Excellent edge setter. Brings serious juice as a stunter. High football IQ. He's relentless motor from snap to whistle. Routinely makes hustle plays in pursuit the flights. All right, here we are. Landon Jackson is it. Landon Jackson is the pick. Two back-to-back Arkansas players, folks. Landon Jackson. That's the dude. That's the dude, ladies and gentlemen. Defense, defense, defense for the Buffalo Bills, folks. Landon Jackson, sound off. Sound off. Ladies and gentlemen, with a 3rd round pick for the Buffalo Bills, they select edge rusher out of Arkansas, Landon Jackson. Now, many were assuming that this guy could have snuck into the beginning of the 2nd. Hell, I even saw mock drafts where he was drafted in the 1st. But the one thing that I love about this prospect, hands down, has to be his competition against some of the top tackles in this draft already. They just said it on TV that he ended up dominating and having a hell of a game against Will Campbell, the 4th overall pick for the New England Patriots last night. And his tape is all over the place. Let me try that again. Sets the edge tremendously. He's quality against the run. He had a freak performance at the Senior Bowl. He had a freak performance at the NFL Combine. Now I'm just interested to see what Buffalo is planning on doing with this edge room. It's kind of crowded if you think about it. Does that perhaps mean that AJ Epinesa might be on a trade block? I don't know. Sound off and let me know your thoughts. Like and follow for more daily NFL content. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Hold on. So Azarie Thomas went next right over to the Jets. But all in all, Buffalo has made a statement that what they wanted to do is find playmakers on the defensive side of the football, and that has been the trend so far. Sound off. Let me know your thoughts on Landon Jackson. How does Bills Mafia feel? And also like and follow for more daily NFL content. It's way crowded. Trade Epinesa for a pick and get Royals. LMAO. Holy shit. Hey, listen, maybe Buffalo trades back up. Bang, bang, man. 1,500 of us in the chat right now, man. 583 of you watching so far. The Buffalo Bills today drafted Sanders, a defensive tackle to South Carolina, and then also a Landon Jackson. Khalil, we expect to play with leads, can rush passer from all 4 spots now. Kyle, who is the best trade partner to move up for Royals? Trying to think if I see anybody here. I don't know. We'll see if we can. All right, let's see. Bean is live right now. Let me see what Bean's got to say. Bean is live, huh? Let's check it out. All right, come on now. 1,500 of you in here, guys. Smash that like button your way in. I'd like to see them pay Cook. He's freaking awesome, in my opinion. I'm glad we got Jackson. Now we need to get Jack Sawyer, too. T. Dobbs, trade up. Get Watts or Royals now, and I'm going to bed happy. We don't have problems on offense. We needed to focus on defense heavily. Didn't Siobhan Ravel have a bad knee injury as well? Pretty sure that's why he is sliding. He had a really bad knee injury. If Bean is live, we are done today. Bills trade Cook to get a 3rd and an extra 4th. If Bean is live, we ain't trading up. Dan, new poll up on the pick, sir. Vote in the poll, folks. Landon Jackson edge. Do you love the pick? I love it, folks. Broncos country. Let's get it done. And so the fact that we effectively took care of cornerback, defensive tackle, defensive end is pretty much all that matters in this draft already. Unfortunately, with Kyle Williams is a New England Patriot. He went 2 picks right above us. He gone, baby. He gone. Did Sanders get picked? He did not get picked. Damn. But all right, guys, listen. If Bean is speaking, more than likely, I'm just going to assume that dude man is done. So I am gonna wrap it up. So I highly recommend that y'all go check out the Buffalo Fanatic stream. Go check out my boy Z-Bot and go check out my boy Rico. Let him know that I said hello. Solid night, man. Right? Like, love the Landon Jackson pick. I'm still a little bit confused about whether or not that the TJ Sanders pick made any sense at all. But here we are. Tape says it all, and Jackson cooked Pat's Campbell. However, I am going to wrap. Say, for example, the Buffalo Bills end up trading up into the third. I might go live again for a reaction so that we could chat about it. But if not, I will definitely make a short video that you could watch on TikTok, X, wherever. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Definitely go say hello to my boys over at Buffalo Fanatics. Let them know Dan Mitchell sent them over. And go Bills. Love y'all.